Yeah, I would say that's probably right, about at least 25%, maybe more, because not every student took multiple courses with me. But yes, I've taught a good deal. I've been here 40 years. I think I ended my 41st year last year. And I was here before as a teaching assistant, as a graduate student, because I'm also an alumnus of McMaster. So yes, I've taught an awful lot of them, and they're everywhere. I mean, I know they've gotten into all kinds of fields of endeavor. They're in medicine, they're in academia, they're in other places as well. And I run across them all over the place. Virtually every single city in which I've spent any time, I've run into at least one former student of mine. Vancouver and Calgary and Halifax and St. John's. And then even in the States, in San Francisco and Los Angeles, all of those places. Everywhere you go, you run into them. They get around. They really do get around. And it's interesting. It's gratifying, too, that they remember me, actually. Of course, I guess I look a little more distinctive than most faculty members do. But they come right up to me on the street and say, "Aren't you Dr. Day? And I took your course way back when." In fact, I've had the children of former students come up to me after class and say, "I just had to say hello because my mom took your course back in, some years ago." I'm figuring that in a few more years, if I last a few more years, I might get the grandkids of because my very first students were in the early 70s, 71, 72. And so if you work out the math, there's just about enough time to see some grandkids show up. And I'm not looking forward to that, because it makes me feel old. I actually had a case already. I was teaching a summer course 15, 20 years ago. And a young student came bouncing up into the class. "I had to come and say hello because my grandmother took your course." I thought, "Oh my God, no. I surely have not been teaching that long." Well, in fact, she had taken the course. I remembered her. She was 82 when she took the course. Right? She hadn't taken it as a teenager. But it scared the hell out of me for a few minutes until I remembered her. She was a delightful woman, too. A delightful lady. But so it's been gratifying to have taught so many students and known so many really fantastic kids. They really are very hardworking, very dedicated for the most part, and they ask some really good questions too. It's rewarding every year. This is a dream job. I said many years ago to the chair, only half in jest, I said, "I would pay you to do this." I mean, there are very, very few occupations I can imagine that are as rewarding as this. Every year I get to introduce interesting and exciting material to students who are eager to discover stuff. And it just, and even though it's the same material every single year, it's different students, different reactions, different questions. And I can't imagine anything more rewarding than that. It's just been a joy all the time. I've said to the chair, I will retire when I can't physically do this, or when I don't enjoy it anymore. And I figure that the physical limitations will show up first before I stop enjoying it, because there's such an immediate positive feedback from students to what goes on in the classroom, and it means a lot to me. And I used to tell my tutors, my intro psych tutors years and years ago, I said, there are two things that comprise like 95% of successful teaching. The first is you've got to care about the material. It's got to mean something to you. You can't just go in there and blather away. It's got to be meaningful to you. And the second thing is you've got to care about the students. And if those two things are in place, everything else pretty much falls into place all by itself. Because I think about the teachers who impacted me when I was an undergraduate. One in particular was in a field I hated. I'd come into university really loathing history. Battles, treaties, kings, princes, lists of this, that, and the other. They were just nightmarish. And I was required to take this ancient history course, and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. And on the first day, indeed, there's like 50 people in this auditorium. The instructor gets up, and he paces back and forth, and for an hour, he describes why he doesn't want to teach the course, why he doesn't like the text they've chosen for him. He's overqualified. He reads and writes 5 ancient languages. And I thought, oh my God, this is worse than I thought. But he comes in the next time, so having got that out of the way, he comes in the next time and he starts talking about ancient Greece. He comes alive. He just loves this material. He just brings the whole thing to life. You could smell the dust on the plains of Marathon when he talked about it. And I forgot to take notes. I mean, I literally, during that course, I bought and read every single book he mentioned in class, every one, without exception. I just fell in love with the material. And it was because of his presentation, because he loved it and he wanted you to care about it. And I've kind of tried to model my own teaching on that sort of approach, because I had high school teachers who were like that too. But every teacher who's impacted me has been that sort of person. And I want to be that sort of a person for as many of my students as I possibly can. I don't know if I reach that standard every time, but I mean, I go in with the idea, this is what I want to do. I want to get these kids excited about this stuff because it's interesting and it's important that they understand it. So that's the way I approach it.